like this band, this Diane Wood that I've been listening to, you look at them, from an ego, and you're like, man, these are the people who look like they're just pieces of shit, man. They're fucking freaks. They're addicts, man. All they want to do is, fuck around with people and hurt and stuff. And it's so totally opposite of that, but nobody can see it because they're not feeling it. They're not feeling their message. They're not feeling, what the soul put in behind the music when they created it. Um, you can think about anything, but I remember being asked that during the IQ test. What is love? And I really did not know how to put that into words. It was weird. And so you can't put energy into words. So if you're just reading words, you're not, getting the energy of what's really there. What is it really saying? Because everything is saying something. Most likely, it's not what it's actually saying. Which it sounds like to me like you read everything and then, you might not necessarily take what they say to heart. You're analyzing it yourself and, what does it mean? Yeah, I get that. And maybe not everybody can feel, but I can't help but think that's only because everybody's an empath. But how strong of one you are depends on how much of your soul is out, is in contact with the world. And so maybe that's it. I don't know. What I'm saying, the stuff I say though, it makes sense, and I think it would make sense even thinking about it. I don't know. Cause they're like, I read energy. People say that, we, I don't listen to words. I read energy. Do they really though? I mean, maybe, but it doesn't seem that way with, everything that's going on right now. Um, they're so quick to say, oh, the Bible's lies, but are then real quick to, listen to Saint Germain or all these other people. So, and they do, and that's what they do. They'll quote what they said. They don't take what they read or, listen to or whatever, and then put it into what they feel it is. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. When people post YouTube videos and shit, which people have been putting on there, I'm like, dude, I'm clicking on your fucking YouTube video, your link there. I know what the fuck you're doing. No, fuck off. um, you know, um, and some of them, they'll be telling you to fucking, oh, well, you can't react that way. Don't let them take your energy. But then when I say something they don't like, they fucking laugh at it. Like, you people are fucked up, man. You really are. And I think it's because they're still fucking an ego, man. They're not fucking operating under the soul. Because they, everything that they've learned about what they're supposed to be doing is telling them not to. Sit and meditate. Go into your mind. The mind. Not the heart and the soul. What everything I say is all about the heart and the soul. Like, to me, the mind don't even fucking matter. It's the heart and the soul, because that's what reads energy, not your brain. I took a lot of shit because, like, when I don't know if you saw the story about that Bible. I'm over at Chuck's, right? And I've been over there many times. And right there, man, this fucking book is sticking up out of there. And I'm looking at the back of it. But it's like calling to me. I don't fuck with people's shit, man. I get right up and go over there and pick that book up and start looking through it. And it was a children's Bible of it was a children's book of the stories of the Old and the New Testament of the Bible. Well, I'm looking through it, and there's all these, every other page is a piece of art, and I'm like, Chuck gave me the book. I don't think he knew where fuck came from either. But I'm looking through it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to read the words. I'm going to read these, the art in here and see what it is telling me, because everything I've ever done in this is, how do I try and help people with art, how do I express my soul with art? So I thought, I'm going to read this art. And I did. And what I got from it, I have absolutely no doubt that it's exactly what it is. And, everybody's like, oh, well, you read the words. You need to read the words, not the art. No, man. No. you need to be reading the art and not the words, because that's what the story is. Like the story of Isaac or Abraham and God, and Isaac, his son. Nobody even asks, or nobody even thinks about Isaac, because it's all about Abraham and God, Nobody ever took a thought that this man lied to his son to get him on top of a mountain. And the son says, well, where's the lamb? He says, God will provide it. Tackles him, straps him down to a fucking altar, and is getting ready to stab him when, God says, stop. And in the art of it, Abraham's standing there like, what the fuck? You're going to stop me now? He really is. And everybody's like, oh, poor Abraham to have to make that decision. Poor Abraham. The fucking kid, man, was strapped to an altar and getting ready to be stabbed by his fucking father. Poor Isaac, there's nothing about nobody even thinks about what happened to him because of that. You know how fucked up that kid would be, And it's all about Abraham. Abraham made that decision. He could have told his son, God is asking this of us, for you to for me and you to sacrifice yourself for his goodness or whatever, He didn't. He lied and tricked him, And that's the lesson that's all about. It's not about God. It's about humans, man, and what they have been doing, And, it's true. And I was flabbergasted. You know what? People were like, oh, people just sacrificed their kids back then. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? That's not telling you something? They were doing it before God told them to, but you all are blaming God, because how would God tell him to do something like that? No, and everything is put towards putting all this on something else, man. No, humans need to take a look what the fuck they've been doing and open up their soul so that soul can teach them how not to be a piece of shit. And that's why they don't want them opening up their souls, because then they know they have lost their pieces of shit, whoever they are. I think it's the angels, the angels that were mad and God stuck them in, the fucking pyramids, the ones in Egypt, the big one, the pyramids of Giza, those are fucking jails to house fucking fallen angels, man. And Neil, I saw 9 of them in there. And back when I was like 15, man, I just come out with, there's 9 that run the world. And people be like, no, 9 families. No, there is 9 that run this world. And I made a piece of fucking art and it showed them all in there and exactly how it all works and everything. Just nobody would believe me, but even though it all came out like that, some angels fucked up, man. God caught him, trying to corrupt man. And he stuck him in that fucking pyramid. But then somehow, somewhere, through, telepathic and shit, that's who fucking Abraham heard, And that was the test the angel was testing, because he knew it was still free will. He couldn't make him do it. But he was testing to see, would it do it? Would it listen to him? When, it didn't have to. It didn't have to kill its son. I have a soul. Somebody told me I don't give a fuck what God they were. They told me to strap my kid to an altar and kill him. They would never hear again from me, But that was showing the test of them fallen angels, testing man to see how they could corrupt them, And the only way we can't be corrupted anymore is if when we accept those feelings, we deal with them, and we open up our souls to help us learn, just help us learn. That's it, man.